Good afternoon. Happy New Year and welcome to the City Council's 2022 swearing-in ceremony and organizational meeting. Please note that due to the COVID-19 pandemic and in an effort to prevent any spread in cases, in-person attendance has been minimized for this ceremony and meeting, and we are streaming live on YouTube and City Channel 12. We will remind all attendees, including all members of the City Council, that masks are required at all times during this ceremony, based on New York State Executive Order. We will begin first with the swearing in of the Council's 5 at-large members, and we will begin with Councilmember Mitch Gruber. Councilmember-elect Gruber, please come forward to take the oath of office. Councilmember-elect Gruber will be sworn in by Stuart Mitchell.
I, Mitch Gruber,
Do
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council
the duties of the office of City Council
at large,
according
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you, everyone. And I should note that was my mother holding the very Bible that I was bar mitzvahed with. So, amen to that. And I'm going to set a precedent that I was asked to set by keeping my mask on during my remarks, and hope you can all hear me. So I want to start out by just acknowledging that the last 4 years have had really an incredible amount of highs. I actually, one thing I like to point out, I spend most Saturday mornings to get a cup of coffee at Fuego, and I go stand and look at the skate park that we built as a city in the last 4 years. This incredible piece of municipal infrastructure that we built that brings together people from all walks of life, an incredibly diverse place, that skate park. And guess what? We're getting people, young and old, to spend time outdoors, not in front of a screen. It's an amazing thing. And we did that ourselves in the last 4 years after waiting years for it to happen. But there were also some incredible lows in the last 4 years, and I think that's pretty much marked most by the fact that we're still in a pandemic almost 2 years later, and it continues to devastate the lives of so many families in our community. And I do want to offer my condolences to the RCSD family who lost a student this last week. But of course, the defining moment of the last 4 years, unfortunately, had to be when we learned that Daniel Prude had lost his life while in police custody, and then saw these huge protests that engulfed our city for days afterwards. And unfortunately, that happened at a moment where we already were at pretty much an all-time low for trust in public institutions. The pandemic, the Trump presidency, these are things that already made people question whether or not they could depend upon government to do good for people. And certainly when we saw what happened in September of 2020 and learned of the tragedy, and then saw as thousands of unarmed citizens were hit with pepper bullets and other things, we saw that the distrust in public institutions really came home to roost to this building right here. As a council, it was our responsibility and our duty to figure out exactly what happened, make it shareable and transparent to the public, and to hold people accountable. And we used every single tool available to us to do just that. We exercised subpoena power. We funded new emergency response units. We asked publicly to hold personnel accountable. And I'm not suggesting any of these things by themselves were enough, but what I am saying is that I am proud to be on a city council that began the process of healing and began the process of earning trust back in our community. And that is what my commitment is moving forward, and I really believe, I believe more now than I've believed in a long time, that this city council are all people who are going to join me in putting public service over politics. We have a government to run. We have to make sure that people's garbage gets picked up on time. We have to make sure that our water stays clean. We have to ensure that our public market can continue to serve thousands of people every Saturday. We have to make sure that our rec centers and our libraries can be safe places for everyone, no matter what time of crisis that we're in. And to do that is going to require all of us working together, and I really believe that this group of people is ready to do that. I also am very excited to work with Mayor Evans and his administration to join us in that process. And I have to say, during the last 2 years, as this has gotten to be an incredible challenge day in and day out, we have had some incredible public servants in municipal government go to work day in and day out, no matter what the crisis was. We had people picking up garbage, no matter how bad the pandemic was. And it is my responsibility and my pleasure to be able to support those people for the next 4 years. And that's really going to be where my attention and dedication remains. And there's a whole lot of things I'm looking forward to doing. Let's not forget, we're in the middle of spending a once-in-a-lifetime expenditure of American Recovery Plan dollars. We'll never have this opportunity again. I'm so thankful that Mayor Evans has put me and Councilmember Patterson on the Cannabis Preparation Committee. We have a one-of-a-kind opportunity for the cannabis industry. We have a Food Policy Council that I worked hard to create that is about to start doing some really exciting stuff. There are things I'm excited about, but this is really about making sure that we are committed to public service and the business of this building. And I just want to say, I want to close my remarks by saying I'm confident in my ability to do what I said and to stay married to the idea of public service and not politics because of the people that I've learned from. There is such an amazing tradition of public servants that have come out of this building. Loretta Scott, Carol Lee Conklin, Norman Jones. These are people that I had the pleasure to learn from over the past several years. I just had Stuart Mitchell, who I think is one of the greatest public servants that we've had in this community, swear me in for a reason, because of all the work that he's done in this community selflessly day in and day out. And that's who I'm going to keep learning from. I want to thank my family for being here today, my Aunt Eve, my Uncle Alan, my mother Debbie. I know my father and my grandmothers are watching online. My wife Amy and the little crying baby was my fault, so I can't blame anyone. That was Levi. I want to thank them for allowing me to be a public servant and role modeling good public service for me from the time I was a child. So with that, I will say that I'm looking forward to the next 4 years, and I appreciate everyone's support who helped me get to this place, and I look forward to serving the city that I love so dearly.
Thank you, Councilmember Gruber. Please come up and take your seat on the dais. Next, we have Councilmember-elect Willie Joe Lightfoot, Sr. Councilmember-elect Lightfoot, please come forward to take the oath of office. Councilmember-elect Lightfoot will be sworn in by Pastor Emeritus George Daly.
I, Willie Joe Lightfoot, Sr.,
I, Willie Joe Lightfoot, Sr.,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I support the Constitution of the United States
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council
the duties of the office of City Council
at large, according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
God bless you, bless the City Council.
All right, here we go. Mitch took a nice long time, so that means I'm going to be shorter. I give honor to the Spirit of Christ, who's the head of my life. I give honor to my pastor emeritus and his wife, and to my wife and to my mother. And I want to take the opportunity to congratulate Mayor Evans and your team. I want to congratulate all of the other individuals that are sworn in today, Kim, Miguel, Stanley, and Mitch. I want to congratulate you on your victories. I want to thank my colleagues behind me for entrusting in me over the last 2.5 years to be unanimously voted in as Vice President. I want to thank the citizens of Rochester and pause for a moment to just briefly, with a moment of silence, to honor all of the victims of violence in our community over the last 4 years as being chair of public safety. I'm on the homicide list to be notified when there's every murder. So every homicide that's happened in this city in 4 years, and there's been hundreds, I'm notified, one of the first to be notified. So I want us to pause for a moment to honor those families and those victims. Thank you. And just real briefly, I have to take the time. I'll be remiss if I didn't thank a good friend, Patricia Williams-McGahee, who is here, who also ran a very strong campaign. Many of you saw her probably saw her stuff all over this city. She did a great job running her campaign and ran a write-in campaign, and she was very instrumental on me being reelected, and I wanted to take time out to thank her for helping me this year. And back to the fact of the matter is, I stand here today basically thinking I'm one of the, and I'm not proud of this, but it's just the truth, one of the older standing politicians in this room, maybe with the exception of our new mayor, Malik Evans. And that's saying something that, I've had the ability to last throughout time on county legislature, city council, civil unrest, different things that have happened throughout all of those different things in decades that I've been serving this community and been blessed to continue to serve this community. But I'll pause for a minute to think about how my whole situation started. And it started in 2002, actually 2001, when my father passed away, the late Honorable Willie Walker Lightfoot, and I went to run for the first time for city council, for county ledge, excuse me. And when I went to run, I was at a house fire, and Floyd Madison was the fire chief, first black fire chief in the city of Rochester, came up to me after coming out of that fire. I'm a retired firefighter, and he said, "Willie, I heard you were running for county ledge." I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, if you run, I'm going to have to fire you." I said, "Fire me? Why?" He said, "Well, there's a city charter rule that says firemen and police officers cannot be elected officials. So if you run, I'm going to have to fire you." So my fight with being elected officials always been a fight. You know what I'm saying? And it was a fight from the very beginning because I was told that this law that was in city council law, which many of these laws that are in our charter were written during Jim Crow's time. They weren't written for black and brown people. We're changing names of parks because they were owned by slave owners, but our charter was written by slave owners. And I was told that, what if I had just said, okay, I'm going to go along and get along. And I'm going to just believe because the charter says I can't do this, I'm not going to do it. But I didn't do that. I didn't allow them to put their hand over my mouth or their foot on my neck. And I decided that just because it's said that that's the way that we've always done it, doesn't make it right. And part of standing up for people is to, and I want to encourage those who may want to go in office and want to be a part of community service, that you have to honor your voice. And just because people say something one way, doesn't mean that's what it has to be. And I fought that rule. And this same body in 2002, in this same room, made a decision that that law was unequitable, and that law was antiquated, and they threw Section 8B58 out of the city charter, and I became the first fireman in the state of New York to be elected to elected office, which opened the door for other police officers, other firefighters, other civil servants to come. Who better to serve the community than police and firemen? Why would they be excluded from being part of the democratic process? So that's how my career started. And then throughout my career, I've always stood up for what I believe in. And since I've been in city council, the work that I'm most proud of is the Race Commission report, the equity budget tool that we had placed in our budget, that we codified racial equity to be looked at and intertwined with everything in every department within the city of Rochester, that we look at all of our budget and how we spend our money, because budgeting is a good look at how you really value people, and we look at these things now with a racial equity lens. And I'm also proud of being a part of Executive Order 203. I'm a proud of starting the homicide response unit when we had no homicide response unit. I think about what if we didn't have the responses that we have now compared to how many homicides we have more than ever before. So that means we have more families hurting more than ever before. But we put things in place. We had the foresight to put things in place under the Rock Against Gun Violence Coalition that were needed to bring healing to families that were going to need it the most. We didn't know we were going to have the most homicides. 2008, we had the least amount of homicides. But we still did the work in the event that people needed that help because we saw a gap. And so I say to the citizens of Rochester who have countlessly supported me year after year, time after time, and I encourage those young people who may be watching this or see this at one time, never let somebody put their hand on your mouth. Never let them put their foot on your neck. Honor your voice. Stand up for what you believe in, because you may be the change that changes the world. God bless you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lightfoot. Please come up and take your seat on the dais. Next, we have Councilmember-elect Stanley Martin. Councilmember-elect Martin, please come forward to take the oath of office. Councilmember-elect Martin will be sworn in by their mother.
I, Stanley Martin,
I, Stanley Martin,
do
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
the
duties of the office of City Council
duties of the office of City Council
at large
according
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you. So I have two books here with me to ground me in the work I do with this community moving forward. One is by Angela Davis, Freedom is a Constant Struggle, From Ferguson to Palestine and the Foundations of a Movement. To always remember, me being here today is a work of the larger movement, and I will always be accountable to the people in the community. I also have a book by Bell Hooks, who recently passed, called All About Love. And in this book, she talks about the ways we love each other, love in community, how we grow to understand what love is, and the power of love to heal. I plan on moving through this role with love and always leading with love. I started the day with a community swearing in to make sure that people in the community would be able to access this special day. And outside, I read something that I'd like to read here again. I gotta say, I'm nervous. This feels heavy, and it's not something I'm going to be taking lightly. A little over a year ago, we slept on these very City Hall steps to demand justice for the people of our city. For over a week, this became the People's Hall, a common space based on the principles of our movement. All Black Lives Matter, and we keep us safe. Our expression of democracy was met with violence, a pattern that would only escalate in the months to come. And despite all the tear gas, the beatings, the weapons, the harm deployed against us, we always knew that our cause would prevail, that justice was on our side, and that we would be back. And here we are today to reclaim this space as the People's Hall. Because of all we've been through, we know that freedom is a constant struggle, and stepping collectively into this seat on City Council is just one part of the struggle. We must continue to organize, to study, to remain vigilant, and be ready to mobilize for our collective liberation. So many families in Rochester are suffering. Last year, we lost so many loved ones to COVID, substance use, gun violence, and police murders. Tragedies that are exacerbated by poverty, lack of access to health care, lack of access to housing, lack of access to a living wage job, and lack of access to union jobs. As an abolitionist, I believe that the way we prevent harm and keep each other safe is creating a community where we center resources, not punishments. Under this new leadership, and with the involvement of our community, we have an unprecedented opportunity to build systems grounded in love, care, and community. As we usher in this new era, I ask that you reach out, attend public meetings, have conversations with us when we come knocking at your door. Let's work together to figure out where we align and how we can prioritize the thing that is most important to our human existence, the opportunity not just to survive, but to thrive. This is not just a fight so that we can live. This is a fight so that we can be whole and enjoy all the beauty that life has to offer. These seats belong to the people, and I pledge to continue to make sure that all elected officials truly represent and serve the people. Everything worth doing is done with others. A word you're going to be hearing in the next few years is co-governance. Our goal is to govern together, hand in hand with our community, leaders, representatives, in order to bring power to the people. Because we know that the people on the ground understand their problems best and are the true source of their own liberation. With that principle in mind, we created a community oath that we believe will hold us accountable to the community, not just the United States Constitution. I solemnly swear to lead with love and organize to meet the needs of my community. I swear that I will faithfully put people over profits. I swear that I will lead with honesty, transparency, and integrity. And I swear to make decisions hand in hand with my comrades. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Martin. Please come up and take your seat on the dais. Next, we have Councilmember-elect Miguel Melendez. Councilmember-elect Melendez, please come forward to take the oath of office. Councilmember-elect Melendez will be sworn in by Eugenio Marlin.
I, Miguel A. Melendez, Jr.,
I, Miguel A. Melendez, Jr.,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office of the City Council at large
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Council at large
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. I have a picture that I'd like to share with everyone. And this is my father and I. And this picture has been in my office since I started working professionally in the community. My father was my rock, and he was my guiding light, and has placed me in this position and in this role to serve the community. I lost my father when I was 15 years old. There was a lot of trauma that came from that. But it also forced me to grow up quickly and figure out how to serve the public in the ways that made sense to me. And I landed in various roles doing community organizing work, spending time trying to rebuild community, invest in neighborhoods, improve quality of life, work with the city government from the private sector, as a community organizer, but also as an employee at Ibero, to make change happen. And change happens when people in the community stand up and say they want to see something different. And I've worked my entire career before joining City Council on trying to find the pathways towards improving quality of life and building equity in this community. And I am committed to continue that work. I joined City Council at a very tumultuous time, 3 weeks after Daniel Prude became public. It was very trying. I did miss the brunt of the agitation, I'll call it. But I'll say that it also taught me a lot about everyone behind me who was here during that time. Everyone behind me is committed to figuring out how we improve quality of life, address issues for city residents, and I'm committed to serve them as much as I am committed to serve the community. I am very thankful that I was elected to a full term. I was appointed September 24th, 2020, and this is my opportunity to serve a full 4 years, and I'm looking forward to being accessible, to being held accountable, and to doing the work of the people. So I'm usually much more short-winded than this, so I will end there, but I thank everyone for being here, and I'm very, very excited about the work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Melendez. Please come and take your seat on the dais. Our fifth and final swearing-in ceremony today will be for Councilmember-elect Kimberly Smith. Councilmember-elect Smith, please come forward to take the oath of office. Councilmember-elect Smith will be sworn in by Reverend Dr. Jonathan McReynolds.
I, Kimberly R. Smith,
I, Kimberly R. Smith,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
of
City Council at large according to the best of my ability.
So I was not prepared to give remarks, and those of you who know me know that I am more of a woman of action than I am of words. So let me just start by saying thank you to my family who showed up today, for the Dr. Pastor for swearing me in. He is certainly my spiritual advisor. Thank you to my son, who represents everything that I believe we can have for a future in Rochester. And I stand here today extremely overwhelmed because of the massive work that we have before us. Public officials, elected officials, are not heroes. They are not celebrities. They are merely people who have had the courage to stand up to represent communities. Service is where I'm from. I was just sworn in for my grandfather's Bible. And for the 90 years of his life, he served. And for the rest of my life, I plan to serve. And when I talk about service, we're talking about servicing a community that for years has been among the top 5 poorest cities in the nation. We're talking about a city where people are dying due to the housing crisis, due to gun violence, due to the opioid epidemic, and we have a lot of work before us. And so I am not here to sit comfortably. I am not here to offer accolades to myself or anyone else. I am here to push myself, my community members, and my council colleagues to always do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. Please come up and take your seat on the dais. Congratulations to all 5 of our council members at large. At this point, we are going to take a 10-minute break. We will begin the City Council's organizational meeting at that time. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who want to stay for the organizational meeting, you're welcome to do so. But for those of you who wish to leave, now is the time to do that. So thank you very much, and we will reconvene in 10 minutes. Okay, hold on, everybody. The photographer wants to take a group photo now. Now I will call the organizational meeting of the City Council to order, and I will call the roll. Councilmember Gruber. Here. Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
Present, ma'am.
Councilmember Lupien. Councilmember Martin. Councilmember Melendez.
Present.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Pio.
Here.
Councilmember Smith. Here. Councilmember Lupien.
Here.
Councilmember Martin. Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence? Councilmember Lightfoot, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? We will now open the floor for motions for the selection of the President of the City Council.
I motion to elect Miguel Melendez as President of City Council.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? No discussion? All right, now we will vote, and we will do a roll call. Councilmember Gruber.
Aye.
Councilmember Harris.
Aye.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
Aye.
Councilmember Lupian.
Aye.
Councilmember Martin. Councilmember Melendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Patterson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pio.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
That motion carries. The deputy clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 9-0 into the record. Congratulations, Councilmember Melendez. Please. Please go to the floor to be sworn in as president. And President Melendez, you will be sworn in by?
Henio Marlin.
Okay. President Melendez will be sworn in by Eugenio Marlin.
I need him. Five. I, Miguel Melendez, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
I will faithfully discharge the duties of President of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of President of City Council
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
President Melendez, I happily relinquish my seat to you.
We will now open the floor for motions for the selection of Vice President of City Council. I move to make a motion that Councilmember Mary Lupian is Vice President. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Aye.
Councilmember Harris.
Nay.
Councilmember Lightfoot. Councilmember Lupian.
Aye.
Councilmember Martin.
Aye.
Councilmember Melendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Patterson.
Nay.
Councilmember Pio.
Nay.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
All right, then the clerk will enter the affirmative vote of 5-4 into the record.
Councilmember Lupian, please go to the floor to be sworn in as Vice President. Vice President Lupian will be sworn in by
Dr. Green, would you do the honors? Do we have the oath? It's not.
Mary,
Please.
Mary, I got you.
Okay. All right. Stanley will do it.
I, Mary Lupian,
I, Mary Lupian,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council,
the duties of the office of City Council,
the
Vice-
duties of the office of Vice President,
Vice President of City Council,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Councilmember Patterson. You are recognized to make a motion for the selection of City Clerk.
Thank you. I'd like to enter a motion that we select Hazel Washington as city clerk.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, we'll take it to a roll call.
Councilmember Gruber.
Aye.
Councilmember Harris.
Aye.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
Aye.
Councilmember Lupian.
Aye.
Councilmember Martin.
Aye.
Councilmember Melendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Patterson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pio.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
The deputy clerk will enter the affirmative vote into the record of 9-0.
Congratulations to our city clerk. Please come forward to be sworn in as a city clerk. Clerk Washington will be sworn in by Diamond.
I, Hazel L. Washington,
I, Hazel L. Washington,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will support the Constitution of the State and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city clerk
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
First, I'd like to thank God, and I'd like to thank council for another opportunity to serve. I'd like to thank my mother and my family members that are here, and my niece Diamond for swearing me in, my granddaughter, and I look forward to working with the administration. And I'd like to thank the staff. They really make things happen, and we look forward to the opportunity to continue to serve the citizens of Rochester and City Council. Thank you.
Clerk Washington, you may join us in the front. I will now entertain a motion regarding the rules of City Council. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the resolution for the rules of council.
Second. One moment. I would like to amend the motion just to express that there's a desire to review the rules within the next 30 days and make changes. And if we can have that motion reflect that, then we can move forward with a vote.
Well, wait a minute. Are you, just a question.
Yes, Councilmember Patterson.
Are you looking to amend the rules now, or are you just making a statement that we will be, you're looking to amend the rules now?
No,
Okay.
we're looking to make a statement that within the next 30
okay.
days,
Okay.
we will review the rules and then make some decisions.
Thank you.
President Melendez, can I have a second? Just want to confirm with Corporation Counsel Kingsley here. We do not need to vote on any changes to any rules right now. We have any opportunity, if there's a majority, to bring forward rules changes during the course of the year. Is that correct?
Thank you. That is correct. You can, as far as the motion to adopt the rules, I would phrase the motion as you're moving to adopt the rules as is, with the understanding that there will be review and further action by council. Whether you want to specify 30 days or not, that's up to you. But I would just clarify in the motion that that's the intent of council. And then if during the year the council chooses, based on that motion being adopted, to amend the rules, that's fine.
Great. Then I will amend the motion that I move forward to say I would like to make a motion to adopt the resolution for the rules of council as is, with the understanding that a majority of council may come back with rules changes during the course of the year.
Correct.
Is there a second?
Second.
I would like to make an amendment to that motion.
Councilmember Lupien?
I would like to amend that we approve the rules as is, with the understanding that we will review and amend rules within 30 days. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
Just a question of clarification for the law department. We have to vote on the items. Do we have to vote on one item? We have to vote on individually. So we've got two motions on the floor. How do we have to dispose of these motions?
You've got a motion to amend the original the original motion. I believe you're going to vote on the amendment, and then you're going to vote on the motion as amended. Am I correct? Yes, I got two
Okay,
yeses.
so we have the first amendment is
To move to amend the motion to reflect that council will act within however many days you all agree that that's the amount you want to vote on.
Okay.
And then if that is approved, then you move to adopt the motion as amended.
Okay, so we're voting, so we would be voting on the first item, which was to adopt the rules as amended, with the understanding that we will look at amending them at a later date. And if there are 5 votes for that, that item passes. Do we then have an obligation to consider the other motion?
Now, are you talking about the motion, right,
That
Councilman Gruber and
right.
the Councilman? I don't know did your motion get a second?
It did.
Well, I seconded Mitch's motion. Mary just made another motion. Councilmember Martin seconded that.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, they've got, if Mitch's, Councilman Gruber's motion got a second, that should be voted on before you entertain
All
a
right.
different motion.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so any further discussion on Councilmember Gruber's motion?
And that's a motion to amend, correct?
That's a motion to amend.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll vote on the motion to amend, and that will be a roll call vote. All those, well, sorry. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Gruber.
Aye.
Councilmember Harris.
Nay.
Councilmember Lightfoot. Councilmember Lupian.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
Councilmember Melendez.
Yes.
I'm sorry, President Melendez.
Yes.
Councilmember Patterson. Councilmember Pio.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
So then I would like to make a separate motion, or would it be an amendment?
So
The
that
clerk
was
needs
7-2.
Yeah, the clerk
Let's
call
let the
roll.
clerk recite what they're doing with that motion first.
Okay, that vote was 7-2, and it will be entered into the record.
So now we will entertain Vice President Lupien's motion. So would you like to restate the motion?
Yes.
Or do we have to vote?
Wasn't that a motion to amend? Now we have to vote on the main motion?
Yeah.
No, we can vote on a second amendment to the main
Okay.
motion, correct?
I,
Go ahead.
if I may, I think we're confusing amendments to legislation, language of the resolution, and amendments to the language of the motion. So give us a few seconds. Law Department folks are going to confer on this one more time. We're going to get back to you with a final answer.
The difference is 30 days, trying to come up with rules changes within the next 30 days is the difference between the two motions.
We just want to make sure you do everything the right way. If Councilmember Lupian wishes to make a motion now, her motion would be to amend the amended motion. So you'd be changing it not from the first one, but from as it stands with Councilmember Gruber's language.
Okay.
And then there would be a vote on that.
So I'd like to make a motion to amend Councilmember Gruber's motion.
Amend as it's been passed, because it's already been passed. So
Okay.
you want to move to amend his amendment
Okay.
to provide whatever it is you'd like it to provide.
So I'd like to move to amend Councilmember Gruber's amendment to add the time frame of within 30 days that we will review and make some changes. Do I have a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
And roll call.
Councilmember Gruber.
Nay.
Councilmember Harris.
Nay.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
No.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
Councilmember Melendez.
Yes.
Councilmember Patterson.
Nay.
Councilmember Pio.
Nay.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Vice President Lupian.
Yes.
Okay, that motion failed, 4-5. The clerk will enter that into the record.
So now we vote on the amendment, or the item as amended.
Yes.
So can I get a, so then we roll call.
You should get a second first.
Can I get a second for that?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Gruber.
Aye.
Councilmember Harris.
Nay.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
No.
Councilmember Lupian.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
Councilmember Melendez.
Yes.
Councilmember Patterson. Councilmember Pio.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
That motion carries 7-2. And the clerk will enter that affirmative vote into the record.
I will now hear a motion regarding the official newspapers.
I would like to make a motion to adopt the legislation designating the official newspapers of the City of Rochester for the years 2022 and 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, yes, President Melendez. I'd like to abstain as I am co-owner of Southwest Tribune as advised by the Law Department.
Very well, thank you. So with that, we'll do a roll call.
Councilmember Gruber,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris,
Abstain.
Councilmember Lightfoot,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Abstain.
Excuse
Council-
me, just to be clear, I realize you're new to council. You cannot abstain unless you have a legal conflict or an ethics code conflict. So you do need to identify what a conflict would be for you to abstain. Otherwise, you have to vote affirmatively or in the opposition.
No.
Thank you.
Councilmember Patterson, Councilmember Pio,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Vice President Lupian,
Yes.
President Melendez.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-1-1, with Councilmember Harris abstaining and Councilmember Martin voting no. The clerk will enter that into the record.
So that concludes our business today. Thank you all for coming. You're invited to join us in the atrium for some refreshments. There are to-go containers. Please be safe. Keep your masks on, and this meeting is adjourned.
Looks like you don't leave.